This show contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Movies with Ron, movies with Ron.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Movies with Ron.
All right, so there's this thing. It comes from filthy celebrity gossip websites and blogs.
Oh.
That's just how I heard about it. I feel bad bringing it up. But at one point in the past, Marlon Brando had a fling with Richard Pryor.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this guy named Quincy Jones.
Oh, yeah, Quincy Jones. Very famous man.
Yes.
He was talking about it. He was friends with him back then when they all used to go to cha-cha clubs.
Yeah.
And, like, him describing Marlon Brando could, like, dance his ass off. And, yeah, everyone thought it was just gossip.
Uh-huh.
Then Richard Pryor's widow was interviewed, and she confirmed it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but it's enlightening, especially in this time period. She said, Richard Pryor was very open about his bisexuality. But, like, back then, like, no.
Right.
Nobody knew.
Totally.
Just the image of Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor, Godfather and Toy. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah. Come on, Wonder Wheel. Give it to me, Wonder Wheel.
Welcome to episode 88 of Movies with Ron, the podcast where my older brother recaps a movie he saw from beginning to end for me and you, because we like his versions better. It's okay if you've seen the movie. It's okay if you haven't seen it. The experience is unique, so let's get it on. I'm Chris, your MC for the time being. Across from me tonight, our sound guy Rick.
Ayo.
Nurse Candy.
Hey, everybody.
And here he is, folks.
He's the ball cracker, death on foot. You know him, you love him. He's Ron. Ron.
Ron, say hi to Mike Rogers.
Hi, Mike Rogers.
Hey, Mike.
Captain Rogers.
We love new friends.
We do.
So as we mentioned last week, tonight we're doing 1982's Pieces.
Woo!
Yeah.
We
Hell
made
yeah.
it.
Our third and final installment in our trilogy of requests. This one's for Sal Roma.
Fuck yeah, love this movie. Love Sal Roma.
Hey, Sal.
All right, so we're closing out the trilogy. I think it's only fitting if we commemorate this moment.
Definitely. Yes.
Fuck yeah. You know what? Rick, lay down some bass.
You got it. Boom, 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 dum, da, boom, dum, 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 bum, ba, bum,
Da-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na.
Back for more, recording again. Movies with Ron, doing requests for some friends. Dennis wanted Candy's big old longest yard. She was about to explode, cause it was so fucking hot. Then we did Del Bucco, right up both of his ear holes. Well, we considered Evil Dead for a couple of days, but instead we had some motherfucking hell to raise. But I know Alan Rundle approved. This week we got chainsaws and co-ed tatas. So come listen, because we're plunging it in balls deep into our love for bad movies. You're gonna need some lube, man, because Sal Roma requested pieces. So now we'll put them together, balls deep into our love for bad movies. You'll need more lube than that, man, because Sal Roma's requested pieces. So now let's put them together. We're gonna put them together. Let's put the pieces together. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Bum, bum, ba-na-na.
So that happened. Candy, it was your first one. You did a good job.
Well, thank you.
Guys, I want to do 10 more of these and put it into an album.
All right. Pieces. One word. Sleazy.
Ooh, sleazy.
Yeah. That seems to be what everyone agrees on.
In a wonderful way, though.
Oh, yeah. It was a Spanish production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
From Spain.
Took place in Boston, filmed entirely in Spain.
Yeah. People can't decide if it's a slasher movie or a giallo film. Do we know
A what?
giallo?
Explain giallo.
Is that like
I hope
gelato?
we're saying it right.
It's giallo.
Yeah, it was a subgenre. Came from Italy in the 70s.
Yes.
And it was kind of film noir mixed with sex and creative kills.
Would Fulci movies fit into that category? Like
Some
zombie?
of them. Some of them, yeah. Not really the zombie films.
No.
This was more about like detective catching a killer.
Yeah.
But it came out at the right time, 1982. And we got something pretty sleazy and special out of it. Its Spanish title, translated to English, The Night Has 1,000 Screams.
Jesus, that's cool.
I feel it's important to point out this early.
That I have had a lot of Fireball.
And Paul L. Smith is in this movie.
Oh, God. Bless Paul L. Smith.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
My one and only, my heart.
I think he has his own commentary track for this movie.
Yeah.
Because there is a 2-disc, uncut, deluxe edition of Pieces from Grindhouse Pictures.
Yep.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty serious shit.
It's 2 discs, uncut. The deluxe edition.
Uh-huh.
Kevin Thomas, a film critic for the Los Angeles Times, gave it a negative review, and he wrote, Pieces is a wretched, stupid little picture whose sole purpose is the exploitation of extreme violence against women. Candy, what are your thoughts?
Candy.
He just described every slasher movie, pretty much.
Yeah, is it like, what's the female angle there? Do women hate slasher movies?
I've been inundated with the entire genre since I was a kid, and I've just accepted that that's what they are. Like, young women get hacked up.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it is.
On behalf of all of the men doing the hacking, I'm very sorry that has happened to you.
Apology accepted.
All right. Here we are, starting new.
But Pieces has a pretty big cult following. Because not only is Pieces sleazy, it's utterly fucking absurd.
Yeah.
It is basically The Room.
What?
Yeah. Mix that with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what we're dealing with here.
Sure.
Its tagline was...
It's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. I tried doing some research.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd find some interviews. Came across this one writer, Corpse Burger, from horrornws.net. You know, there's no such thing as too much. Why 10 gallons of blood when you can have 20? Why stab some sex-crazed teenage dipshit when you can disembowel him? Why show 1 tit when you can show 2?
Wait a minute. Night of 1,000 Screams? Mm-hmm. Isn't that the name of your dating profile?
All right, folks. Get your chainsaws revved up.
No!
Because it's 1982's Pieces on Movies with Ron.
It's showtime.
Fuck yeah.
We gonna cut up some kids. We gonna cut them up good.
Get the people out. Come on, get the people out.
All right, I've been drinking. I sang a song. What more do you want? We open up on, a quaint little house, and it is Boston in 1942.
Yeah.
In the house, we are upstairs in a little boy's room. From looking around in the room and at the boy, it is obviously not the 40s. But it was a pretty good try, I think. So in his room, he's got some like antique furniture and shit to make it look like the 40s, and there's this little boy, he's in weird clothes, and he is putting together a puzzle. Mm-hmm. As he's doing so, he is singing this nursery rhyme. And he's like, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put the pieces together again. And it's like, what? You're saying it wrong, kid. So he's saying that weird shit. His mom walks in and she's looking at him like, she sees him from behind, like he's on the floor playing with a puzzle. And she's like, oh, my son. She walks up and takes a look at the puzzle. It's a naked woman. And I was like, damn, where'd he get that? The mom ain't fucking having it. She said, what the fuck? Where did this filth come from? She starts fucking slapping this little boy. He's like 8 years old.
Yeah.
He's fucking taking one, then taking it the other way. She's like, answer me, answer me. And she just starts like monologuing to him. She's like, oh God, what I have to put up with. You dirty-minded little shit. Playing with filth, just like your father. If you don't watch out, that's who you'll grow up like. And I can tell you a few things about him, bastard. And then she fucking picks up something and smashes a fucking mirror with it. Oh, if a woman has ever been triggered, it is now. She smashes that mirror and then it shows her smashing it again in slow motion. Like, yo. I'll kill you if I find this shit in the house again. The kid just starts like backing up like, like he knows oh man, he is fucked. And then she says this one thing. Go get a plastic bag. It didn't sit right with me, guys. I stopped watching this movie and I did some research. Because I was like, now hang on a minute. Because everybody knows plastic trash bags were obviously not even invented until 1950 by Canadian inventors Harry Waslick and Larry Hansen. Chris, you dumb piece of shit. And she's like, I'm going to burn it all. And I was like, now that is strangely accurate for the time. That's how people got rid of their garbage before garbage bags. They just burned the shit. Don't just stand there. Go get a bag. The kid fucking backs away like, bitch. I'm going to stop this once and for all. She starts rifling through all of his shit. You know that time, you know those times when your mom like fucking had it with you. She starts going through all your shit. You're just like, God damn it, man. That'd be another one of these goddamn days. She finds more shit. She finds porno magazines. This kid's like 8 years old.
Damn. It was his dad, man.
Yeah.
It was no good dad.
She's like, I bet there's more stuff all over. She's going through his toy box. She finds more jigsaw puzzles. She opens it up and she like starts checking the pieces. Are there boobs on this? Then she fucking yells out, hurry up, stupid. Bring me a plastic bag to junk this stuff. She turns around. That kid is standing there with a fucking axe in his hand and just slams it down into her fucking head.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude. Hits her no less than 4 times. Okay, like bong, 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 bong. It's like, holy shit, man. It's pretty hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
Also, very admirable practical effects for the time when this was filmed.
Yeah.
Then the fucking doorbell rings. And there's this lady outside of the front door. He's just letting the doorbell ring. He's actually finishing his puzzle. He's covered in blood. The puzzle's covered in blood. His mom is dead on the floor. There's blood all over the room, and it's like, bing bong, bing bong. And he's like, yeah, where does the last piece go? Like, he's like thinking about it for a second. It's the last piece. I guess the woman ran down the street and decided to call the house because the phone starts ringing while this little boy is like sawing up his mother. He's all bloody. You know, he's kind of sweating too. You know, it's a tough job. Fucking police sirens start going off. Man, it's been like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably in real time, you know?
Yeah.
And the kid's like, man, what the fuck? He's like, he looks outside and that lady is there with a couple of fucking beat cops. And they start busting the door down. The lady's like, I just know something's wrong. Oh my God. He's like, okay. And he just hides in the closet. So the cops bust in and they're looking around the house. Anybody there? They walk into the room. Jesus Christ! Somebody was butchered up here. Hope it was an animal. All right, let's search the place. They open up the closet. And there's mom's head in there. The woman starts crying, oh my God, where's Timmy? Where's little Timmy? And then they hear crying from, yes, another closet in the same room. I'm like, what's that? They open it up. Little Timmy's in there. He's bloody and he's crying and he's like, oh, big man, mommy, where's mommy? Big man.
Fucking genius.
I know, dude. It's like, holy shit. Where's his dad? Oh, he's in Europe with the Air Force. There was also no Air Force in 1942. But his aunt lives an hour away. I'll call her and I'll take him. And the cops are like, yeah, good idea. And it's like, he's a witness to a murder, dude. You'd better take him somewhere else. The old lady's like, oh, God, this is so terrible. And then the opening credits begin. And they're designed like they are dripping visgoo. Okay? But they're white.
Yeah.
So it's cum. Obviously, the crimes were sexual in nature.
Well, the credits.
And then it says pieces. The credits continue, and now for some reason they are red. So it's blood now.
Yeah.
The director was like, oh shit, it's cum. Make it blood. No, it's fine. Just start here. We start back in 40 years later, ladies and gentlemen. Got a pair of black gloved hands opening up a drawer. Pulls out a box, opens it up. There is his mother's shoes and her blue dress.
Yeah.
It's all covered in blood. It's dried, but it's, still red. There's also a picture of his mom with a big red X drawn on it. We don't see this guy's face, just his black gloved hands. And the gloves are extremely ill-fitting. They're way too big for him. They look like a mad scientist's rubber gloves. What the fuck is a gigawatt? Now it cuts to this girl skateboarding through the downtown area of Boston. And it's all happy music. Dun, 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 dun. She's like, yeah, all right, this is fun. We see down the street, there's a couple of guys from a glass company that are unloading a giant mirror from their truck.
Yeah.
And she is skating towards it. Time of her life. She's, hi. And she's passing people. Oh, hi, Jenny. And then she sees the mirror. Fucking crashes into it. When she crashes into it, we see an echo of the little boy's mom smashing the mirror. I myself didn't understand why this girl was in this movie. Back to the black glove hands. They pull out their old titty puzzle. They start putting the puzzle together, okay? And the gloves are too big. The guy's having a hard time with it.
Yeah.
He has a real hard time with it. But he starts putting together the head of the lady in the puzzle. It's just a puzzle of a naked woman, okay? Starts with the head.
Try putting a puzzle together wearing those gloves.
Hey, I'm sure.
I'm sure they had a dude doing it, and he had a hard time.
It was the director.
And then the director was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And it was like, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah, okay. So now we cut to a park, okay? And there is this young college co-ed laying on the grass, reading. We see her from the front. She's laying on her stomach, and we can see, her skirt is actually hiked halfway up over her ass. So half of her ass cheek is showing. Just enough for you as a viewer to be like, hey, what you got going on over there? Behind her in the bushes, there is a man in a coat, and his face is covered, and he fucking starts up a big yellow chainsaw. Rum, 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 rum. The girl's like, what the fuck? Turns around. Hey, how much longer are you going to be there doing that shit? I mean, I could just move. The guy, whose face is still covered, he's just like, just a few minutes, miss. Oh, okay. It shows her from a different angle, and her skirt is back down over her butt. So it's, it's gone. And that fucking guy just comes out with that chainsaw and cuts her fucking head off.
Damn.
What the hell?
Yep. Broad daylight, too. I might add. So it cuts to, the main quad of this college campus. And we're in the main office, okay? And there's the dean's secretary. She's talking to these two cops, these two detectives. They are Lieutenant Bracken and Sergeant Holden. Bracken and Holden, baby. They're a couple of good cops. What's the matter? You don't like good cops candy? And they're like, well, did you know the girl? Nah, there's just too many fucking kids here, man. Then the dean buzzes her over the intercom, and he's like, hey, those pigs still here? It's like, yep. Oh, good. I'm just finishing up. Send them in. They come in, and he's like, Inspector Bracken. Lieutenant. Oh, yes. So the dean is British. All right. Yes, come in, pigs. All right, there you guys are. You guys awake? They start talking. We cut to a bunch of kids out in the hallway. You thought I was going to say kids in the hall. They're standing in the middle of the hallway in college, and they are just smoking a doob, getting high. In a little huddle, right? This guy's like, hey, did you hear the latest? They just installed a waterbed in the training room. Oh, have you ever been laid on a waterbed? And this other girl's like, the most beautiful thing in the world is smoking pot and fucking on a waterbed at the same time. And I was like,
Yep. Goddamn right. Pretty much.
no arguments there. And then this teacher, Professor Brown, walks out. He's a very stoic, serious man. He's a serious man. The chick who said, the most beautiful thing in the world, she's like, hey, watch this. She walks up to him and she's like, excuse me, sir, what are the pectorals? And he's like, my friends all laugh at me and they say mine are funny. And then there's just like a big old blatant shot of her boobs. Professor Brown takes a gander. And he goes, I assure you, you have nothing to worry about. She's like, thank you, sir, but where are they? And he shows her on himself. And it is awkward. And he's like, here and here. And all the kids fucking laugh. And they fucking deserved to laugh. Like, they got that fucker good. He fell right into their plan. Fucking college, man.
Hey, folks, it's on me. Shakespeare for everyone, okay? You too, honey. Ooh, I'd like to tame your shrew.
Professor Brown walks into the dean's office, like looking for the dean, and finds his secretary fucking eavesdropping on his conversation with the detectives over the intercom. Like, yo, bitch, what's going on? Yeah, man. Little loyalty? What the fuck's going on? She looks at Brown. She's like, they think it's the staff. Somebody on the staff. Oh, poor Willard the gardener. He's the one who found the body. They still haven't found the head. I wonder what the murderer wanted with it. Probably to fuck it in the mouth. And the neck hole. Here and here. Look, are they going to be long? Well, I don't know, Professor. They've been in there for quite a while. And then, bzzz, Grace, could you please find Professor Brown? Well, he's here. And Brown just goes in. Finds the dean talking about him to the detectives. Yes, he's unmarried and lives with his mother. Like, watch out for this guy. He might be the killer. Professor Brown. I need you to fuck off with these pigs and show them around. The Palmer girl, you know, her head was cut off. She was in your class, right? He teaches anatomy. She was in your anatomy class, wasn't she, Professor? He's like, yeah, but, I don't really remember her. And listen, pigs, please keep all of this quiet. Think what would happen if this were to be leaked to the media. And then Lieutenant Bracken, played by swinging dick Christopher George. Okay, he's easily one of the coolest parts of this movie. Oh, don't worry, sir. We'll do our best. Thank you, yes. To the students, we'll just say it was an accident. Yes. Professor Brown don't want to play. He's like, I don't even remember the poor girl. Come on, Arthur, don't be a bitch. Man up and hang out with them. Yes, Professor Brown will take care of you. Fuck off, pigs. So the cops leave. So, Professor, what kind of girl was she? You know, did she have a lot of boyfriends? Was she slutty? I make it a point to never pry into the private lives of, my students. Well, this is it. This is my classroom. I teach comparative anatomy. He walks in and he's like, this is a human skull, and it was given to me by one of my students. And they're like, well, who the fuck is that kid? We want to talk to him. Oh, no. This was a long time ago, back in the 60s. You mean it might be one of the boys? You know, the killer? Sergeant Holden, he's like, who knows at this stage, man? Right now, we're just talking shit, okay? I suppose it could be a student. Well, shall we continue the tour? And then Lieutenant Bracken's just like, nah. I want to go read the coroner's report. Yeah, sure, okay. And it cuts to a big yellow chainsaw. And we see the man who is wielding it. It is Willard, the gardener.
All right.
Played by the one and only Paul L. Smith.
Oh.
You might know him as Bluto from the Popeye movie. But he's got a more special place in our hearts, doesn't he, Chris?
Yes, he does. Everyone has a Willard in them.
Yeah. Paul L. Smith played your namesake. In Dune, he was the Beast Raban.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know
Holy
that?
shit.
Fuck yeah.
Damn, full circle, man.
I win the trivia contest.
Dude.
Fuck yeah, you give a guy blonde eyebrows, he's a completely different man.
Seriously.
So here he is, the Beast Raban with a fucking chainsaw.
Back, beast, back! I warn you!
He is a beast.
Oh, he is such a beast. And he's using the chainsaw, and he's cutting down some brush, and he stops, and he's like, yeah. And he's like wiping the blade off, like really lovingly, and he's like grunting. And he's like smiling, like, I love my saw. The dean is watching him do this from like across the yard, and he approaches him. Say there, beast. When do you expect to be finished here on the campus? Fucking beast glares at him like Bluto. Like, I don't know. Maybe in a week or two, maybe more. Don't worry. It won't cost you any extra. I ain't getting paid by the hour. Yes, beast, I know. But in that case, then, the sooner you finish here, the sooner you'll be able to accept another job elsewhere. I think it's only good business. Sure. I'll be as quick as I can. Good. And then the dean leaves. The beast fucking glares at him, because if you put Paul Smith in a movie, you make him glare at people. No, you beg him to glare at people. Then he turns around and watches two kids fucking in the bushes.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Just like straight up.
Seriously.
And he's like, yep.
What kind of college is this?
It's the college of screw you. Cutting back to the black gloves. It's puzzle time.
Yeah.
And they are back to fumbling with the puzzle pieces. And he's like trying to add more pieces, and it takes a really fucking long time. But he eventually adds in the pieces that have the boobs and the torso. So he's like, yes.
Like them taters.
Yeah, we'll play with that later. Yes, indeed, he likes them taters.
Titters.
Get your titters out. That's an actual name of some guy's polka album. Get your titters out. I'm not lying. Me and Chris thought we made up the word titters when we were fucking kids, and we looked it up, and son of a bitch. Some guy had already put out a polka album like years ago called Get Your Titters Out. So we're in this library, and it's fucking full of college kids. They're all studying. And there's a blonde. And she passes a note to this fucking dweeb in glasses that's just sitting across from her studying. The kind of guy who does not deserve a note passed from this blonde. He opens it up and reads it. We hear it in her voice. I want to do it underwater. See you in the pool.
Damn.
And then he takes off his glasses, and all of a sudden, he is an acceptable young male lead.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, okay, there he is. He smiles, and then she leaves to go to the pool. He crumples up the note, throws it into the trash can, misses it. It hits the floor. Puts his glasses back on, and back to being a fucking nerd. It's weird. Doesn't happen to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did to this guy. Completely changes him. Now the black shoes and gloves. This guy's walking around with these mad scientist gloves on in the library.
Yeah.
Picks up the note and reads it. Walks out of the library.
Oh.
That blonde chick, she's on her way to the pool, right? She runs into her friends. You guys remember Mr. Brown? He walks out and they're like, oh, there's Professor Brown. Oh, wow. How'd you like to do it with him? Oh, Jesus Christ. You fucking kidding me? Oh, my God. No fucking way. Oh, come on. I think he's a sugar plum. Well, damn, girl. You know what they say about sugar. Ha ha ha. Okay, bye, bye. And then one of those other girls says to the other one, wait, what do they say about sugar? Like at the very last second of the scene. Fucking black shoes are following this girl through the school. It cuts to the swimming pool, and there's music like sexy saxophone. The black glove guy, you know, whoever he is watching her. She starts to undress and takes an unbelievably long time because she pulled her jeans down before she took off her shoes.
Oh, God.
The movie takes time to let this happen.
Jesus.
Been there.
Every day of your life.
Should have taken the fucking shoes off.
I thought you had a poster on your wall that says shoes first, then pants.
I fucking never look at it. Sorry, man.
On the front of his door, it has to say, look at poster, then undress.
You guys laugh, but I have bruises every day, every night.
Then the girl goes topless and dives in and swims. We see the killer in the shadows, and he's wearing this black overcoat and a fedora. He picks up a pool net. She's just swimming, doesn't see him at all. He nets her head. Okay, and she's like, blah, 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 blah. And he just like pulls her over to the side of the pool and holds her there, like lets her fucking half drown. The music's like, bum, bum. Then he pulls her out of the pool and like lays her down. Okay, and she almost drowned, so she's kind of just laying there helpless.
Yeah.
He walks across the room, grabs his chainsaw, and starts that shit up. Boom, 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 boom. Comes at her. She's like, oh, Jesus. She backs up to this pillar instead of simply rolling back into the pool. Swimming to the other side, getting away scot-free. She just backs up to a pillar and gets swiped. We cut back to the library, and there is a girl sitting there studying. I am not quite sure because, man, some of these kids in this movie, I get confused. They all look a little similar. But I think it's the girl who wanted to know where her pecs were. She's sitting there studying, and then this fucking real Poindexter motherfucker walks in. Like this Napoleon Dynamite dude.
Yeah.
He walks up to her, he's like, hey, where's Kendall? Oh, he's over there. He looks at her, he's like, oh, thanks, Francine. Hey, by the way, are you free tonight? Huh? And she just like stares at him like, Jesus, no. But she's just staring at him. And then he says, hey, so I'm slayed by a withering look. Who gives a shit? And he fucking walks away. And this Poindexter, immediately it is clear that he has the biggest cock in the room. I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. Love him and leave him and throw him away. He finds Kendall, who is the other guy who got the note passed to him.
Yeah.
Kendall is never seen in his glasses again, by the way. Hey, Kendall, I've been looking all over for you. This note was left for you in the dean's office a half hour ago. I've been all over. Where did you get to? Next time his secretary Grace wants me to deliver something, she can just forget it. Wait, it was left there a half hour ago? Man, what's going on? Oh, don't tell me I'm the bearer of bad news. I could kill myself. And it's like, what the fuck is this guy saying? Kendall's like, no, it's all right. Oh, good, I'm too young to die. And he leaves. And I was like, oh, okay, he's back. Like, who is this guy, man? Now we cut to some unknown doorway. There is some very heavy breathing happening. And it's the killer in his black boots and shit. And he's dragging a big bloody sack inside. Comes into this, I guess it's a house or an apartment, okay? In the back of the place, there is a walk-in refrigerator. Opens the door, puts the sack inside, and we see the severed head from the first victim. So his collection begins.
Oh.
Cutting back to the pool room. The beast has walked inside. He turns the lights on, and his bloody chainsaw is sitting there on the shelf. And there's Kendall in the back of the room. And he's like, oh, shit. And he just runs out of the room, like runs away from the beast. Beast is like, fucking glares at him. He's like, fuck that. He looks over at the pile of the body parts of the girl. And he's like, no. And he storms after Kendall. He's going after him. Right then, the fucking beat cops bust in. They're like, hey! They all get into a big fucking fight. Beast is fucking throwing cops away like they're nothing. He throws one of them in the pool. Kendall, he's back. He like ran out, found the cops, came back with them. Breaks a fucking 2x4 over the Beast. It does nothing. They're all struggling and shit. Get him! Get him!
He just immediately starts fighting cops.
Yes. He sees cops, he fights.
Yeah.
And then Sergeant Holden, who's in there with these cops, holds up his gun. Hold it! Or I'll blow your brains out. And then the Beast stops. Fuck it, he's caught. Now it cuts to later, same crime scene, and there's these medics. They're like putting body parts on a stretcher, the kind of stretcher with no wheels. You just like two dudes have to carry it. Old timey. And Professor Brown walks in. There's Lieutenant Bracken as well. Brown walks up to him and says, "Oh, what a job you have." "Yeah, thanks for coming, Professor." "Yeah, hey, Hank, bring it over here. I want your opinion. Could this have been done with a chainsaw like that one?" Professor Brown walks over to the chainsaw and the body parts, and he's looking, and then he touches the handle of the chainsaw. "Don't touch it, Professor. You could have destroyed some evidence." Brown's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry." Like, oh man, it's fucking clever as shit. Like, if he's the killer,
Oh, yeah.
you contaminate your own evidence. Even a layman can see that it was done with this. I'd say it's elementary. "Yeah, thanks. All right, Sergeant. Let's go see the dean." They're walking, the two cops together, and Bracken's like, "This case is giving me the creeps." "I know. I wonder what he's doing with all the missing pieces." "That's what I mean. It's creepy. Look, we'll have to put some undercover agents in here." "Girls, you mean?" "Well, yeah, that's what he's after." All of a sudden, it cuts to Big Cock Poindexter and Kendall. And this beat cop runs up and he's like, "Excuse me? Are you, Big Cock Poindexter and, Kendall Shitstain?" Yeah. "Well, the lieutenant wants you both in the dean's office." Cuts to Bracken and Holden in the office with the dean. "I just know it's got to be somebody on campus." "Well, surely you don't suspect my faculty." "It could be anyone. The point is, will you cooperate?" "You want to place 2 of your policewomen on my staff to spy on everybody? That's asking a lot." "What the fuck, man? There's been 2 murders now. That maniac is going to kill again. This may be the only way we have of catching him." Yes, okay. When do they start?" "I'll let you know. Now I want to talk to your secretary and the 2 boys." The boys are walking to the dean's office, and Kendall's like, "Hey, listen, man, don't tell them it took you over half an hour to find me. The cops will have a heyday." "So I don't think you sawed up Susan. But where the hell were you?" "Hey, yeah, you know that blonde in anthropology?" "Oh, God. You made her too? Wow, Kendall, how do you do it?" "I just whistle and they come running." "So here I am, with Kendall Shitstain, the campus stud." Come on, fuck off, man. Now they're both in the room with the detectives and the secretary. "So you found a note on your desk for Kendall Shitstain marked most urgent?" "Yes, and I took it to the dean." The dean's like, "Is all this really necessary? Why don't you ask the parents of the 2 murdered girls?" Yeah, okay. "I told Grace to take the letter to Kendall right away." "Why?" "Fucking, I don't know. Fucking kids, man." "The note was sent by the killer to make sure Kendall didn't show up at the pool. So why did you show up, Kendall?" I don't know. I had a bad feeling. Something fishy, you know?" "I like you. I bet you get a lot of pussy." "I do okay." "All right." And he turns to Big Cock Poindexter and he's like, "You got anything to add to that?" "Who, me? I don't know shit. Honest." "Now listen, neither of you talk about this shit. You got it? Here." And he gives Kendall his fucking phone number. "Call me when you're feeling better. Let's cruise." "Someone at the office wants to talk to you." So the meeting's over and the dean's like, "All right, everyone, fuck off." Cutting to the aerobics class. And it's fucking weird, man. Like, these women are like, they're practicing dancing, but it looks like a fucking music video from the 80s. Like, it goes on for a while. And the killer's there, and he's watching, and he's breathing. The girl's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's take a break, everybody. One of the girls goes, hey, Carla, I have to go to the John. Okay. She's like, I got a shit. I have to have a shit. So she leaves the room, goes by herself. The killer follows, and he's still breathing all hard. This girl has to take so many twists and turns in all these different hallways to find the fucking bathroom. And we are with her every step of the way, man.
Yeah. Boston, man.
Yeah, what are you going to do? So the killer's following her, and finally she finds the bathroom. Then she hears a fucking noise behind her. She turns around. She's scared. Investigates it. And then boom, the fucking bathroom door opens up, and there's some other chick walking out of there. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, man. You scared the shit out of me. And the girl's like, ha ha ha, come on. Pulls her into the bathroom with her. It's like, both?
What?
You have to shit? Me too. Let's do it together. Cuts to Lieutenant Bracken and Kendall, already hanging out. Next day, Bracken brings Kendall to, like, the police shrink that helps profile killers. This is the boy? Hey, listen, all Doc wants is some information. He's going to profile the killer. But I don't know the killer. Or do I? Exactly. Now, take off your pants and bend over here.
Oh, Wonder Wheel. Jump, Wonder Wheel. Come on, Wonder Wheel.
Bracken's just smiling at him, and he shakes his head and leaves. Elsewhere in the police station, he goes to talk to Mary Riggs, played by Linda Day George, Lieutenant Bracken's real-life wife.
Oh.
Blue eyes, blonde hair, she is the leading lady of this film. He's trying to talk her into going undercover. Is this job dangerous? Very. Good. I'll do it. I'm bored as shit. Figures. Put an active lady in an office like this, shuffling papers for 6 months, and she'll volunteer to do anything. Almost anything. No anal. Sometimes you laugh like Ed McMahon. Classic. You got him, Johnny.
All right.
Kendall shows up. He's like, well, the doctor's done with me. Hey, holy shit. Aren't you Mary Riggs? Fucking A. I try to watch all your games. Hey, what's a tennis champ doing in a place like this? This place is my living. What? You work here? Fuck yeah, I do. This is the lady I was telling you about. She's going undercover at your university. Meet your new tennis coach. Oh boy, that's great. Hey, you know what? Thanks for letting me help and for trusting me. Mary's like, fuck off, kid. Bracken and Kendall leave. He's like, look, Kendall, you gotta keep your eyes open and watch out for Mary if she needs help. Sure thing. Bracken back to Mary is like, he's a good kid. Well, why did you have to tell him about me? Listen, we're short-handed, babe. I don't have anyone else I can send in there with you. I trust him. I'd stake my life on him. It's like, what man?
Yeah. Absurd.
Mary's like, and mine too. What the fuck? Fuck are you worried about? You're going to be playing tennis all fucking day. Besides, we'll be watching. And I was like, if we'll be watching, why are you so short-handed? Right then, this reporter lady busts into the station. She's like, I need to talk to Lieutenant Bracken. I need him. Hey, what's going on here? I want to talk about what's going on at the university. Fuck's up at the university. Fuck you talking about? The rumors that there's a maniac. That's just it. They're just rumors. You know, rumors of a maniac, they happen every, couple of months. There's talk that a girl was killed. Fucking kids. Am I right? Here, talk to Mary. I'm leaving. Then it cuts to Mary's first day at the university, and she's having a tennis match with another girl. Supposed to be like the best girl on their tennis team. Mm-hmm. And then Mary, a tennis pro. They are both obvious, complete amateurs at tennis. And we get to watch them play for like a while. The whole school is there. They're all like, oh, wow. Even the dean, he's there watching. Match is over, and there's like marching band music playing over the loudspeaker while everybody's leaving. The dean walks up to Mary. He's like, impressive. He like looks her up and down. I do believe that under your tuition, all of our tennis students will become world champions. Oh, yeah, thanks. So does anybody on your staff know about me? Not unless your lieutenant told them. I thought there was supposed to be 2 of you. No, it's only me. Yeah, this is a volunteer job only. Oh, yes. It is terrible what's happening here. By the way, what's going on with the beast? Well, we had to release the beast. We didn't have enough evidence. Right then, that reporter girl, she shows up. She's like, hey, can I talk to you guys? No fucking way. We're busy. Cutting back to the killer's den. His puzzle den. It's puzzle time. He's doing a sloppy job. But this time, he puts arms on the naked lady. So we know what we're after next. Cuts back to that same dance studio, okay, in the school where all the girls were dancing. Mm-hmm. Cooking up turds. And it's just that one girl again who was going to the John. She's by herself this time. She's dancing. She's practicing. Fucking killer's there watching her.
Oh.
Dung, 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 dung. Dung, 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 dung. She's dancing. Dung, 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 dung. She's like dancing. She's like rolling around on the floor, putting her legs up in the air. She's twirling. Wonderful examples of,
like leg warmers and shit.
Leg warmers. She's very skilled at rolling, twirling, and spreading. Then she hears the door click. She's like, what the fuck? She goes, checks it out. Nobody there. You know what? It's time to stop the tape and go home. Man, what is it? Like fucking midnight? What am I doing here? The killer is lurking out in the halls, and there's all this suspenseful music. Ding, ding, ding. Even though the girl does not know anybody is there. She sits down and puts on her pants. We get to watch this the entire time. She's getting dressed and everything. Killer's outside like, come on. She finally leaves the room, and I am like, Jesus Christ. Fucking, like, something needs to happen here. He's following her through the hallways. Dun, 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 dun. He's breathing. He's breathing, baby. And then the girl just starts fucking running, you know? She doesn't see him or anything. She's got a feeling. Really? Starts running. Mm-hmm. He's following her. They're going through all these fucking hallways. Man, this school, this filmmaker, what the hell's going on here? There's a big crash of thunder, you know, because it's raining outside. It scares the shit out of her. And then a fucking black glove hand reaches out and pushes the elevator button right in front of her. And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, she turns, looks at him. We can't see his face, but she does. And she's like, oh, it's you, sir. You made me jump. Okay. This is where a normal person would have said something back to her, but our killer doesn't. He's just like, must have just nodded his head. They both get in the elevator, and then the killer has a fucking chainsaw behind his back that she can't see.
Oh.
He reaches over and stops the elevator, and she's like, no, what are you doing? No. Vroom, vroom. No. She puts her arm up on the wall. He fucking cuts it right off. It's almost seamless looking.
Really?
It's fucking great. Like, they show it when he cuts it off. And she's still there screaming. And it's like squirting blood and everything. It's pretty cool. Outside, Kendall, he's working on his little dirt bike. And he hears her scream. Looks down the path, sees the dark killer leaving. He's like, oh, shit. Other people hear the screams, too. Some beat cops show up. Hey, what's going on? They get into the building, and they're, like, trying to figure out what's going on. They go over to the elevator. They push the button. They fucking have to wait for it to show up. It takes so long. Everything takes so long in this movie. Kendall opens up the elevator door. They see this girl's body in there, covered in blood, no fucking arms. Kendall and both of these cops, they all start throwing up at the same time. Lieutenant Bracken and Sergeant Holden, they show up with the wambulance. And these medics, they're walking in there with one of those stretchers again. Bracken finds Kendall and he's like, all right, what the fuck? I think we scared him off. But she's still alive. And now we can get that bastard. I hope you're right, son. He looks at Holden and he's like, I want you to guard her 24/7. The medics are leaving with her on the stretcher. So apparently she's alive.
Oh.
You know, she's going to be a witness. The medics take her outside. The doctor follows. Bracken stops him and he's like, so what are her chances? And the doctor's like, no fucking way, man. Like, not at all. Like, she is fucked. Well, goddamn. That son of a bitch is out there laughing at us. Right then, Professor Brown just shows up and he's like, oh, what's happened this time? Bracken turns to him. He's like, hey, where did you just come from? What? I said, where the fuck did you just come from, motherfucker? I was upstairs in the library. Good. I'll talk to you later. He fucking leaves with Kendall and Holden. The dean shows up. And he's walking down the hallway like, oh, Jesus. What's going on here? What's happened now? Secretary finds him. They are all there at the school. It has got to be like 10 o'clock at night. I was going to call you. There's been another one. It's horrible. Bracken pulls Kendall aside. Listen, I'm putting in more patrols. But they can't be everywhere, so keep your eyes and your ears open. I need your help. I need all the help I can get. And watch out for Mary. Okay. I know I shouldn't be asking you this. But I'm up a tree with this guy. All right, get the fuck out of here. He looks at Holden. I want you to run a complete check on the staff. Full background. And if you have to use the department's full budget, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So it's like massive amounts of detective and paperwork. And Sergeant Holden is like, yeah, thanks. I figured you'd like that. But do your best job, pal. I don't think we have much time before the next one. He looks over at the people in the hall, and we see that it is Professor in the school at night. Just there watching what's going on is Professor Brown, Kendall, the secretary, the dean, and of course, Beast. So they're all watching what's happening. So it's like a big lineup of suspects.
Yeah.
And like the lightning crashes and it's like, like, these are your choices. So it cuts later to Kendall and some random chick in bed fucking. Mm-hmm. She's got naked tits and he is driving her so wild she is screaming. Like Kendall brings it. Obviously, he brings the thunder, okay? He actually stops. He's like, Jesus, will you shut the fuck up? God, you got to wake up the whole college. Oh, Kendall. What you got to make such a big fucking production for? Oh, Kendall. And he goes, all right, fuck this. He gets out of bed. Like, he quits. Goes over to the window, just looks outside, sees Mary walking in the dark. So he's like watching her. And the girl in bed is like, I'll control myself, Kendall, if we do it again. Come back to bed, huh? Kendall's still watching Mary. He's like, you know what? I'm getting dressed. What the fuck? What if you gag me? Huh? I wouldn't make any noise then.
I'm sorry! I can't stop coming! I'm sorry! Oh, it feels so good!
Cuts to Mary out in the dark. She's just a walking. And then there's the bushes. They start rustling. Okay. She's like, yeah, okay. That's cool. I'm going to walk a little faster now. We see these footsteps following her and there's heavy breathing. We see the killer in the black gloves is stalking her and he has his chainsaw. We see Kendall and he's like running, trying to find her. So Mary pulls out her flashlight and she starts creeping real slow, like looking around the corners and shit like that. When all of a sudden, her fucking flashlight gets kicked out of her hand. And then jumping in front of her is this Asian kung fu master. He's wearing like a tracksuit. And he's like, hi-ya! And he fucking starts attacking her. Okay? She's like, holy shit. She fucking struggles with him. She pulls her gun. He fucking hits it out of her hand. And then fucking gets her down on the ground. Like she's down on the ground and at this motherfucker's mercy. And he's like, hi-ya! And then she just kicks him in the balls. And he fucking goes down.
Ah, yes. I see that you know your judo well.
Then all of a sudden from behind her, vroom, vroom. And she's like, oh, shit. She fucking turns. Up rides Kendall on his dirt bike.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, shit, okay. And he's like, hey, Miss Riggs. She's like, hey, fuck meat. What happened here? Cocksucker jumped me. There he is. And fucking Kendall looks down at this guy and he's like, oh, hey, it's my kung fu professor. Hey, what's the story, Chow? What? Chow stands up and he's like, oh, I am out jogging. And next thing I know, I am on ground. Something I eat. Bad chop suey. So long. He leaves and the other two laugh along with him. It's an incredibly racist moment, but it also makes no sense whatsoever. And that's a big thing. You look this up online, people are like, why is this scene in the movie?
Yeah. Does he ever come back?
No. But you want to know why it was in the movie? Chow was going to mug and rape Mary.
That's what it sounds like.
Mary's like, fuck are you doing out here, shit stain? The lieutenant asked me to keep an eye on you. I saw you out the window, but then you'd gone, so I went for my bike. Well, next time, fuck your bike, okay? Because it sounds just like a chainsaw. And he's like, okay, bye. She's like, oh, no. No fucking way. We look for my gun, and then I'm going with you. And he's like, you're right. That's what he says. It's fucking weird. Then she does not move at all, simply bends down and picks up her gun, which is right in front of her feet.
Yeah.
Hop on. They ride away. But the camera stays, and out of the shadows walks the reporter lady, who's out there on the college at night, doing some sleuthing.
Yeah.
The killer is walking around. He lost Mary, but he sees this lady, and he's like, oh, shit. She hears him walking around. She's like, now she's looking for him, because she's a fucking, she's probably a badass little reporter girl. But he's out there in the darkness. He's stalking her. He's got his chainsaw. She goes into this building, and he creeps in after her. So she's sneaking around looking for clues or something, or a killer. It's unclear what she's trying to find, but the killer is he's closing in. She enters the training room, and in the training room is a nice new waterbed. And all of a sudden the lights come on, and then the door slams shut. It scares the shit out of her. She goes over, tries to leave. It's fucking locked. What the fuck's going on here? She turns around. There's the killer. And he's coming at her with a butcher knife this time. She's like, ah! And she jumps out of the way and he stabs it into the door. I put the saw down. I want to try this out for a while. He pulls the knife out of the door and jumps on her. She's fucking struggling with him and shit. She falls backwards onto the waterbed. He's on top. He fucking stabs her over and over.
Oh.
He also stabs the waterbed, which promptly pops, and all of the blood that is spraying out of her is now mixing with the water, so it just looks like a whole big old bloodbath.
Oh.
It's happening in slow motion. It looks like a fucking killer whale killing a seal on the Discovery Channel. She's still alive. She's trying to crawl away, and he just stabs her in the back until she dies. So then he gets up, grabs her feet, and pulls her off of the waterbed. But she's in water, okay? So as he pulls her, her skirt hikes up over her ass. You just see her panties. For whatever that's worth to anybody who likes that sort of thing. I don't know who would notice such a thing, I'm just saying, when I saw it, it was like, hey, look at that. Cuts to Mary's door. Kendall has driven her home, and she's like, well, thank you. You really saved my life tonight. How? She kisses him on both of his cheeks. She's like, good night. And he's like, the fuck? And Mary, aren't you gonna make coffee? She turns, and it's all unspoken, but she looks him up and down. She considers the sex that has just been offered and says, another time. Thank you. And she goes inside, shuts the door. He turns around, and there's this fucking old man behind him with his eyeball hanging out of his fucking head.
What?
Ah, fuck! And then the old man promptly pulls his mask off, and it's Big Cock Poindexter, who just yells out, Casanova! And then he just turns and runs off.
What the hell?
And Kendall is like, man, what the fuck?
Like the woman could see him behind him the whole time.
I don't know. We're walking back into the walk-in refrigerator. There's heavy breathing, right? The killer comes in, and we see this dead, naked reporter just hanging off of a meat hook. She hasn't been cut up yet, okay? He just stabbed her and brought her home. So now he's playing with his puzzle again, and he's putting some legs on it. And it is, as you watch this movie, it is just so fucking awesome how he can't do the puzzle pieces. Like, every time it happens, like, you think about it. You're like, oh, man. Now it cuts to that girl that Mary was playing tennis with earlier. And she's playing tennis, but she's playing by herself. So I don't know how that works. It's out on the tennis court, and the marching band music starts coming over the loudspeaker again. And it's real fucking loud. It's so loud, she, like, quits. She's like, fuck this. I don't know what the hell they're doing. She goes into the locker room and gets naked and soapy. In the shower. It's fine. Sweating. The killer walks in, and he's, like, breathing really hard. He's searching for her. Outside, we see Mary and Kendall have arrived with tennis rackets, and they're going to, they're going to play too. He's like, you remember when I wanted to have sex with you last night? She's like, yeah. Did you like that? No. And he goes, yeah, me neither. The music is still going, and they're like, what's happening? Inside, the shower girl, she's in her towel. She drops it, and that is a very hairy bush we see. She gets dressed. It's fine. Vroom, vroom. Oh, shit. Here comes the motherfucker with a chainsaw. She fucking runs. She didn't have time for a shirt. She's topless, trying to get away from this asshole. She locks herself in a bathroom, okay? Like on the toilet. Then the chainsaw just fucking stabs through the wood of the door and starts carving a hole. Oh. She's so terrified, she then wets her pants. And it is quite effective when you're watching the film.
Yeah.
You're like, man. Outside, Mary and Kendall are like, fuck's going on with this music, man? It's so loud. Jesus. Inside, that girl is fucked because the guy gets through the door. She's just cornered in the bathroom, and he brings that chainsaw right up to her stomach and cuts right into the side of it. There's a real good close-up shot of the blade making contact with her skin and spraying blood right out of it. Oh. It's fucking great. The director is actually quite proud of this shot because he did it with a pig.
Oh.
Yeah, fucking blood sprays all over the place. It's really cool. Outside, Mary and Kendall are walking up to that building, and out walks the Beast. And they're like, hey, Beast! Fuck's up with this music? Maybe they're testing the system. But who? I thought that was your job. No way, lady. I just take care of the grounds. All the electronics, that's someone else's headache. Kendall, go find out what the fuck, okay, with the music. Yeah, okay, there's a phone in the janitor's office. Beast has a key. And the Beast is like, no one's allowed to use that phone. And it's like, man, what the fuck are you doing? He just doesn't want him in the building. Doesn't want him to find this body, right? Mm-hmm. It's okay. I'll take responsibility. All right, wait over there. And he goes back into the building. Mary hears a fucking scream. She's like, what the fuck's going on here? Beast brings her in and shows her the controls. And he holds up his keys and he's like, hey, these aren't my keys. Oh shit, don't touch them. In case, they might have fingerprints on them. Meanwhile, Kendall walks into the locker room and finds the fucking body, and he just comes out crying like a fucking baby. What happened? Another one in the locker room. Oh, Jesus Christ. And the Beast just turns and fucking runs away. Mary goes in. She finds the girl. She got no legs. Oh. She is just gone below the waist. And it is a fucking bloodbath. She runs back out to Kendall. Did you see it? Yes. While we were out here fucking with this music, the lousy bastard was in there killing her. And then she goes like this. Bastard! 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 Fucking screams it 3 times. Cuts to Lieutenant Bracken, and he's talking to somebody on the phone. He's like, she was alive when he cut her in half. Can you believe that shit? Come on, you gotta fucking find me some kind of lead. He's talking to Sergeant Holden, who's in the records room, like, doing the actual work. He's like, dude, I've been up for like 27 hours, okay? Like, I need help. I need help with this shit. Remember when Lieutenant Bracken told him, if you have to use the entire department's budget, I don't care. And it's still just this one guy doing the work. Like, well, we are using the whole budget because I'm taking it.
Oh.
But he needs help. And Bracken's like, I'll send Kendall. You remember that kid? We can't use a suspect. He's not a suspect. You're crazy. He's awesome. Yeah, but, the book says, man, fuck the book. Find me a fucking lead. And he hangs up on him. And Holden, I just can't imagine what's going on in his mind. It's like obvious boy crush that Bracken has on this Kendall kid. Back in the killer's walk-in refrigerator, he's got these legs hanging, and he gets down and puts his mother's shoes on the feet. They don't stay on, but that's not the point. Now we see Professor Brown leaving work. He's walking out of the building, across the quad, and Mary's like, Hey, what's up, man? Can I walk with you? I'm kind of scared, from that shit I saw last night.
Yeah, I guess. Doesn't bother me. I guess I'm just used to dead bodies.
He's an anatomy guy.
I'm callous.
She's like, not like the dean, huh? He's a soft cock.
What?
And he's like, obviously you don't understand campus politics. To make it in the college fucking teaching world, you've got to be tough.
And she's like, what? Sounds like you don't, you know from experience that the dean is like an asshole. You got beef with the dean?
Fuck off, lady. Mind your own business.
And he fucking leaves. All of a sudden, Kendall shows up and jump scares Mary. Jesus, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I'm going to go help Sergeant Holden. Do a whole bunch of boring ass research. She's like, well, look at you, bitch. Fuck yeah. Hey, where's the dean? Where can I find that asshole? Oh, he left town, but, he'll be back this evening. He'll be in his quarters at 7:00 tonight. I don't know how Kendall knows this. Okay, I'll see him then, and I'll see you later. So,
Ooh.
He's like, fuck yeah. He's like, I love my life. So he goes and finds the sergeant, Holden, himself, in the records room. He's like, hey, how can I help? So you want to play policeman? Well, let's see if your enthusiasm is still there after, the wee hours of the morning. It's simple. You're here to do shit tons of paperwork. You got fucked, pal. Kendall's like, cool. Later that night, Mary is ringing the dean's doorbell. If you know what I mean. She has to wait quite a while, like we do in this movie. He finally opens the door and he's like, oh, Miss Riggs. Listen, I'm sorry to disturb you. I just have a few questions. Of course. Come in. What can I get you to drink, Miss Riggs? I was just making some tea, but I expect you'd prefer coffee. Fuck yeah, you know it, bitch. She's got a mouth on her, man. She called Kendall fuck meat. Yes, make yourself comfortable. Listen, how do you like your coffee? Cream, no sugar, a little saccharin, perhaps. Like, man, this is the early 80s. What's going on here? Ah, watching your figure. I shouldn't have thought that was necessary. So it shows him making the coffee, and he's like, okay, I'll put some saccharin in for you. He pulls this little bottle out, and he's like, bloing, bloing, dripping it in there. Finally, he brings her coffee. He's like, it's instant, I'm afraid. Oh, no, it's great. So, what the fuck can I do for you? Well, something about Professor Brown, What's up with him? He's kind of a weirdo prick. Okay? Well, would you like more coffee? And she just goes, yeah. He gets up, goes back to the kitchen, and makes her another cup of coffee. And we are with him the whole time.
Damn.
She yells out, if we don't find something soon, we're going to have to get a warrant and, search the entire campus. And right then, the dean goes like, cuts to Sergeant Holden and Kendall, and they have just finished eating a large meal of Wendy's. They're both sitting there drinking out of Wendy's cups. Purposely. It's fucking weird. In a movie like this,
Yeah.
Kendall holds up a piece of paper. He's like, hey, this might be something. Here, check it out. This guy changed his name.
Probably nothing, but let's follow it up. I'll call it in. You know why he called it in? Sergeant Holden is a fucking good cop. He calls this record office. He's like, yeah. Oh, hey, you'd better keep working. This is probably going to take a while. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Could you put it on the wire right away? Thanks. Gets off the phone. Kendall's like, well, what did he say? And then, just as flat and unmoved as Sergeant Holden usually is throughout this film, he just goes, what the hell? You're practically on the force anyway. The Dean's the one. Apparently, his mother was chopped up when he was a kid. It must have affected his mind.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's like this huge reveal, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, turns out it's the Dean." You got any fries left? Kendall's like, "Oh shit, Mary! She was going to see him at 7:00." Then Sergeant Holden wakes up and he's like, "Holy Mother of God! Come on, let's go!" Kendall, I need you. We'll radio fucking Lieutenant Bracken. So back with Mary and the Dean. Oh yes, you were asking about Professor Brown. Well, he's a homosexual, you see.
Hey, Professor, take it easy, will you?
I've always known, but, he's cool. In fact, he's more upset about it than I ever was. I might as well tell you, he tried to kill me once. But I'm very strong, you know. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Then Mary goes, I feel funny. I can't move right. And he's like, ha 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 ha. Because of the poison you just drank, Dr. Jones. You see, you're paralyzed, but you can hear everything I say, can't you? And she is paralyzed, but she's like still silently freaking out. Like, so now that he's got her where he wants her, he just like stares at her shoes. Cuts to Lieutenant Bracken at his desk like, hey, what's going on, guys? And a beat cop walks in and he's like, Lieutenant, there's been a break in the college case. Gives him a piece of paper. Obviously on the paper it says, the Dean is a killer. And he's like, holy shit. Let's fuck off to the Dean's place. Everybody meet at the donut shop. Meanwhile, the Dean is laying down plastic on his nice carpet. And he's like, yes, we don't want to make a mess here, do we? Outside, the cops arrive, and it's like 70s, I'm gonna get you now music. No. Bracken, Holden, Kendall, and all these beat cops, they show up. Yeah, come on, go around back. You guys come in with me. Let's do this. Go, go, go. The Dean pulls out a knife, and he's walking towards Mary. She can't move, so she's just like terrified. Bracken, Holden, and Kendall, they get to the door of his apartment, and they bust that shit down. Actually, Lieutenant Bracken knocks first and then shoots the lockout. I don't know why he knocked. I'm coming in. They find Mary paralyzed on the couch and no Dean. Oh shit, what's wrong with her? She's like trying to signal them with her eyes like, the guy is behind the curtain, ass fucks. And none of them get it. They're like, oh, what's wrong with her? What's going on? Bracken's like, well, all right, let's search the place. Kendall, try to get her up and walk her around a little. You know, I'll call an ambulance. So Kendall fucking does that. She's like dead weight, okay? And he like picks her up. He's like, come on, let's try to walk. I'll help you. And she's like pointing at the fucking curtain with her eyes. And he's like, see, you're walking. Yeah, you're walking around. He's really just holding her up. He's like, yeah, you're getting it. When the Dean fucking comes out and attacks her with a knife.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking Kendall gives as good as he gets, though. He's like struggling with this asshole. At one point, Kendall's actually on top. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that about Kendall, right? But the Dean don't let that go down. You know, he switches places with him. And he's got that fucking knife down on Kendall's throat. And he's just about to fucking cut him when Lieutenant Bracken walks in and just fucking shoots the Dean right in the fucking forehead. Boom!
Fuck yeah.
He's way across the room, too. This guy's a good shot. Oh, there goes the Dean. Bracken's like, oh, wow, look at that. Did you see what just happened? Did you see that shot I just made? He helps Kendall up. Yeah. You all right, boy? Yeah, you sure are lucky. The medics arrive, and, you know, they're, like, taking care of Mary. Holden's like, she'll be all right. He just drugged her. Bracken says, all right, let's tear this place apart. Holden, you start in here. He goes to look elsewhere in the apartment, and he stops at Mary, and he like rubs her face, like, "Hey, I know you probably like Kendall, but you remember you and me, we're supposed to be a thing." Holden like throws a sheet over the dean's body, and Kendall goes over to Mary. "Hey, don't worry about what he just said. It's you and me, baby." He helps her sit up, and Sergeant Holden, he's over there like pulling open drawers and going through the guy's shit. He finds the naked puzzle. He's like, "Hey, take a look at this jigsaw puzzle." Fucking Kendall goes up and looks at it, and he's like, "For kids of all ages." "She's not bad, Sergeant. Never thought the dean would collect something like this, though. Real freak." And Holden goes, "Join the force, kid. We find out shit like that all the time." And then he leans back on the bookcase, and Kendall's like, "Wow, really?" And then the fucking bookcase spins around. All right. And, Holden, he falls to the ground, and there is behind the bookcase a fucking sewn together, rotting body. Wow. With all these ladies' parts. And she's like blue and shit. She's also wearing the mother's dress from the beginning of the movie. And she just fucking spills out of this cabinet that she was being stored in. The dress falls off so we can see some rotting boobs for a second. And the body falls right onto Kendall. Ew. And he like goes down. And it's like on top of him. Jeez. Just sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, Jesus, fuck." Even Mary manages to scream. Kendall's screaming like a fucking banshee. And it just cuts to a little while later. Lieutenant Bracken, his car is like speeding away. Holden walks in. He asks a cop, "Hey, where's the lieutenant?" "He's gone to the hospital with Mary." "All right, go get us some coffee, huh?" "Okay." "Well, Kendall, how's it going?" And Kendall's like, "Well, my heart's beating again." "Oh, you still want to be a cop?" And all Kendall says is, "Are you kidding?" "So, what?" "Come on, buddy. It's time you got some sleep." And he like starts leading him out of the room, like by his hand. And Kendall stops at this, victim's rotten, stitched up Frankenstein puzzle body. Mm-hmm. It's under a sheet, but he's just like standing there staring at it. "Nah, don't brood over it, kid. Come on, let's go." "Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, my jacket." And then he goes back, he reaches for his jacket, and then the fucking body's hand fucking reaches up and claws Kendall right in his fucking dick and fucking shreds it to a fucking bloody pulp. Ugh. Kendall is like screaming. "Ah!" And then the frame just freezes on his screaming face, and then the credits roll.
What?
Got his dick ripped off.
Oh, man.
Kendall Shitstain, the campus stud. Later, the body took off its costume, and it was Big Cock Poindexter the whole time.
Good job, man.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks, guys. Yep, there you have it. 1982's Pieces on Movies with Ron.
What was the significance of the skateboarding girl?
I still don't know.
Do you think it was like the dean saw it happen, and it like
Triggered. Yeah. He was triggered. It could have been.
Yeah. Interesting choice for an ending. So that was one of those kind of weird shock endings that they like to do at the end of horror movies.
Yeah. The director actually wrote a sequel, but it never got made.
No.
All right, folks. If you're using Apple Podcasts or iTunes, go ahead and leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. Check us out on Twitter @MoviesWithRon. There's a Facebook page. We're on all your other favorite podcast apps and movieswithron.com. It's been fun.
Yep. Love you.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Movies with Ron.
There's a woman in the credits named Hilda Fuchs. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's Hilda Fuchs.
I'm sure it was, but Fuchs is funnier. Fuchs is funner.
Fuck yeah. Fuke, yes.
There was a Fuchs in The Thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Fuchs in your thing.
I have been properly burned.
Yeah.
She is on fire.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make up for fucking quesadilla nerd.
You fucking nerd. Oh my God.
It still stings a little bit. Sounds rough on audio.
Hey, what kind of cheese did you put?
God, you're such a fucking idiot.
She was like, I better come with it aggro tonight.